Hello YouTubers, Joe Kersey here on, good grief, it's Monday, February 6th, 2017, and it's 2300, it's 2300 in the evening Eastern Time, and I can't believe I'm still up here talking to y'all. But the good that's Brad. The good that's Brad from just outside Manchester, England, in the UK. He's out in the Stockport, Romilly area. He asked me to. He mentioned me in his recent video. I mean, I guess the term for it is tagged, and it was one of these 7-question things. I think this is about the third one of these things I've done, although it's the first time somebody's actually named me to do one of them. But maybe it's the second one. Might be the second one, but the last one was like well over 3 years ago, I think. We'll do this first, and then I might wax on a little bit longer here. That's Brad tags Joe Kersey with 7 questions, and I think since it's YouTube, it's appropriate that we have a picture of Narcissus by Caravaggio. Caravaggio is one of my favorites. His use of light, chiaroscuro light, that sort of thing. And he was probably one of the boys. And you note that this model here is clearly, he's used 2 different models on this one because this arm is considerably, thicker than this arm. Although he's not made it really obvious, but you can see this shoulder really doesn't go with this shoulder. I mean, just the way. I'd wager that's probably one of his earlier works, but they say 1594 to 1596. In any case, Narcissus with YouTube, that's very appropriate. Oh, I feel like I'm beaten with a pipe here. Well, it doesn't matter. Whine, whine, whine. Okay. Why do you do YouTube? Well, it's a hobby. I never thought I'd end up doing YouTube, quite frankly. I didn't get my computer until first week in September of 2012. My very first computer ever on man. And then toward the end of November, I found myself, through November of that year, 2012, I found myself watching YouTube stuff. I don't know. I have no idea how I happened upon this stuff. And I just, you get kind of clicking around, and then you realize, oh, I could maybe do this, That's how I got started on it. I do it because it's fun. And, well, I do it primarily because the primary reason is, it's to document, it's a way to document my life right now. Well, that's redundant. It's a way to document my life. And I've never been good at keeping a written diary or a written log of stuff, but this is an easy way to do it. Well, it's easy for me to do it this way. That's why I do it. If other people want to watch it, that's great. That's fun. That's great. I love to have the back and forth stuff with it. I've made really one very good friend out of it, out of all of this, and several other very ongoing, emailing back and forth, talk to each other sort of friendships, Skype sort of things. Yeah, it's great. I mean, that's a secondary reason for doing it. Although I never thought that would happen when I started doing it. Uh, yeah. But also, the underlying reason is this dude here, you know, you know, it satisfies that narcissistic streak in me. See, that's that demon on my shoulder flicking me on the ear, see. That's as they said in Pulp Fiction, that's that pride fucking with you, isn't it? You know? What's your channel name? Well, that's my name. My name's Joe Kersey. That's my channel name. How long have you been doing YouTube? I put my first video up on December 1st of 2012. I did it with my the little web camera on my MacBook Pro. It's, you know, you can go back and watch it. I don't take any of this stuff down. It's the original conceit of all this was this is going to be me sort of showing you how I'm learning to use my computer, and for the first couple 3 weeks that sort of was what it was, but then it rapidly changed into something else, as the people who watch me now know. What camera equipment do you use? I use, right now I'm using my Leica M240 with a 28mm Elmerant lens. I'm shooting at ISO 3200, 24 frames a second, 720 pixel resolution at 24 frames a second, and I'm shooting f5.6 at 1/45 a second, you know, at the 24 frame per second speed. For the other stuff, most of the others, for all the other stuff I've done, it's my Canon 320 HS, ELPH Power Shot 320 HS, Canon. This current camera has a 24 megapixel sensor. The Canon has a 16 megapixel sensor. That's what I use. The Canon has a 35 millimeter equivalent 24 to 105 millimeter zoom. This is a fixed focus 28 millimeter lens I'm using now, right now. Do you do your own thumbnails? Sometimes I do. Sometimes I go back and I'll do like a screenshot and make that a thumbnail. You have to always get the thumbnail so it's, you know, less than 2 megabits for the YouTube site. I'd say about 60% of the time I'll do my own. 40% of the time I'll let YouTube sort of select one. When I was doing a lot of the road construction stuff, the eminent domain stuff, I did almost all of those were things that I did myself. You know, the thumbnails I selected from my own material, you know, from that video. Lately, for something like this, I imagine YouTube will pick a correct one. We'll see. Do you do your own intros and outros? I don't, and I don't have intros and I don't have outros. Closest thing I have is when I say, hello YouTubers, and when I start, and at the end I'll say, bye-bye YouTubers. That's it. Some of these folks have a lot of these, they'll have these intros and outros. The intros especially will be, sometimes they're like 18 seconds long. You know, and if they're one of these guys that put up really short videos, like, you know, like 90-second, 100-second videos, you know, I mean, over 1/5 of the video sometimes is their intro. I mean, that's ridiculous. My style doesn't lend itself to that sort of thing, so yeah, I don't ever see myself really using one. It works well for some folks, like the Pamela Hicks theirs works out very well. I mean, their intro works very well for them, given what they do. I could see myself maybe doing a 5 to 7 second one sometimes if I ever get, if the idea ever strikes me some way. But right now I don't. Will you ever quit YouTube? Well, yeah. I mean, am I gonna die? Yeah. But probably not. Probably not for a few years. I want to try to take a major trip, or at least one major trip a year for the next 7 or 8 years. Overseas anyway, and then start traveling around the country. So essentially, when I stop actively traveling, now that I can do that, then I'll probably stop YouTube. Or I'll get bored with it, or I'm surprised I've stuck with it now, coming up onto 5 years here. Well, 4.5 years now. 1,190 videos basically. Who would have thought that? I wouldn't have thought that about myself. Yeah, eventually I will. When I stop traveling, I want to get another dog. Sort of like Joe's last dog. And of course, dog just begs to be put up on YouTube, doesn't he? Maybe not as often as I do. I'm doing it now, probably 4 or 5 times a week. I'll taper down a bit. I'll probably but not in the near future. I like doing it. I mean, here Hell's Bread asked me to do this, so I was all ready to go totter into bed, and I decided, I got to do this for Brad, Well, okay. Well, Brad, I hope this salivary stone of yours gets taken care of. I hope it comes out on its own. I don't know if they talked to you about bimanual expression of this thing at the hospital or not, but you can sort of go in like this. Work your fingers toward the front of your mouth, one on the outside, one on the inside, and try to bimanually get that stone to come forward in the duct, and maybe you can get that thing out on your own. It's certainly not going to hurt you to do it that way. It might get the thing to come out on its own here. You can kind of slide, get it to come forward on the duct a bit for you, and as you've clearly got one of these submandibular gland stones, from what you said. A little transatlantic medicine there for you, huh? That won't even make you sit in the waiting room for 5 days before you get seen either, on that one. I was trying to find a lot of my lost emails today. I mentioned that earlier. I'll say it again. If anybody has any ideas how I can find the rest of these lost emails down in my library folder on the Mac, I would love to hear some suggestions on that. Because I just got interrupted in the middle of trying to do the whole thing today, and I'll have to try to go back tomorrow morning and try to start that back up again. But I know they're on there. I know they're on there. I'm not gonna let that go. I'm gonna drive that into the ground with a stake, given the way I go at things. Okay, well, see, now we're back to this guy again, aren't we, huh? So I'll say bye-bye, YouTubers. That's my outro.